Oh my gosh, econ is the worst.
Let's just watch some TV.
Aight.
Really, guys? Thanks for waiting for me. Boring.
There's nothing
That
on.
sucks.
Hold on, this looks interesting.
To me, is that this crisis, people want to phrase this as a crisis about home ownership. In other words, this was a crisis caused by putting people in homes that they couldn't afford. And it really wasn't. If you look at most subprime loans, they were used so that people could do cash-out refinancings of their homes. In other words, use their home like an ATM card, because people aren't making enough money to support the lifestyles that both they and our economy have gotten.
Come on, Ben, let's do some research. It says here that a recession is a business cycle contraction, a general slowdown in economic activity over a period of time for more than 2 consecutive quarters.
The immediate cause or trigger of the crisis was the bursting of the United States housing bubble, which peaked in approximately 2005 or 2006.
Really, guys? You're gonna leave me downstairs again? Well, I've been doing some research of my own, and it looks like this year Wall Street is gonna receive about $144 billion in bonuses. Okay, first question. Were you affected by the recession?
Yes.
How were you affected by the recession?
My husband's an engineer, and his hours at work were reduced. Not a lot, but down to, I think it was like 1 day a week where they weren't working for much of the summer of like 2009.
Alright, that's good. What changes have you experienced in everyday life caused by the economy?
I think we were more...
Also, what have you seen? Just kind of...
Well, we were more careful with our money for a while. We just worrying about whether or not things were going to get worse, and so if he was going to like lose all, he's a contractor, so if all of the contracts dried up, then we would not have any money coming in from his side. So just trying to be more careful, kind of putting off some purchases that we had to think more about.
Okay. These are the next two are like the biggies. Feel free to elaborate a lot. What could the government have done to avoid the recession, in your opinion?
That's a tough question. I think the things that caused the recession were the housing boom, which had gotten out of control, the housing bubble, and the market wasn't regulated at all. And so banks were loaning money to people who they shouldn't have been loaning money to. And then they were packaging those mortgages and reselling those mortgages. So that whole market that was created should not have been created, and it should have been regulated better. So those things, really all that speculation really led to the recession that we would not have had if they had been more content to have slower growth in the housing market. But people were benefiting from that at that time, and it was just out of control.
What do you think the government did to bring the country out of the recession?
Some of the things that they did were the bailouts, for example, which weren't very popular, but they kept us from running out of money completely, which were a good idea at the time. Some of the things that they've tried to do with extending unemployment benefits have been a good idea to keep people from being really hurt by the recession. They've been trying to spur trade with other countries, so that's getting other countries to buy our stuff will get us out of the recession as well.
And then how about things as far as like regulating the housing market so that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, they have done some of that. The financial markets that were regulated, but still probably not far enough. I mean, some economists say that there's so many loopholes in what they did, in the regulations that they created, that it's almost in some ways making some things worse.